Hey everybody, I am going to be working on gold filled today. I did bring a few examples of things that I might scrap, but I don't think I would, just because it would sell for more money online as a piece, like this large ink pen from Cross. There's about I think there's about 7 grams of gold filled, maybe 8. You don't get too many of these larger ones. Most of the Cross pens are this like really thin and almost pencil thickness. So I would, and they average about 6 grams per pen in gold filled. This one's nice because it has a little extra AT&T gold filled or gold little plaque there. Also, I get a lot of gold filled from vintage jewelry. This one, it's kind of tarnished. I probably would scrap this instead of trying to sell it. I would steal the stones for jewelry repair, and but this cameo, little gold-filled cameo pendant, probably would sell that. It would. You're not going to get much more than 75 cents to $1 of gold filled off of this. The one nice thing is, though, on the old pieces, the base metal tends to be sterling. When I take probably 1 or 2 loads of gold filled to the smelter a year. Right now the smelter is closed because of the virus, but I average about 1.5. So in 100 grams, I'll end up with 1.5 grams of pure gold, and I'll average 10%, 10 to 15% of sterling or silver, and so it's always an extra bonus when I take it to the smelter because I get paid on the silver as well as the gold. This men's watch band, I wouldn't take apart. Like, I've been taking apart these women's watch bands. A friend of mine has about 75 grams or 75 ounces of gold filled watch bands. So I came today to take apart a couple and see what how much gold filled was on a watch band. What I found was, on a women's watch band, you average about 3 grams of gold filled, and on eBay, a gram of gold filled is only about $1. So that's $3 per women's watch band. It's really not that much, especially with the amount of work you have to do to take these off. You know, you have to I sit here with a pair of pliers. It's normally better if I have a couple beers and the radio going, and just take off each little cap, because the whole band isn't gold, and each cap weighs about 1/10 of 1 gram, so about 10 cents each cap. It's just like doing any other scrapping. I probably spend less time on this than I do on my copper wire, but this is always something I work on, so I don't really have a lot of watch bands right now to work on. It's something I normally do in the winter. Let's see, my scale turned off, but I'll add 5 of these little caps to this pile, and we'll see if it gets 5 grams. Nope, 3 on that one. So that's even lighter. This men's gold-filled watch band is definitely worth selling on eBay, just because it's in decent shape. There's no nothing really off the plating, and you would hope that would bring $10 to $15 on eBay as a good men's gold-filled watch band. You probably would only get $6 or $7 in gold-filled weight off of that, so it's really not worth taking it all apart. These spectacles, they're the plating's it's not really worn terrible, but has a bunch of bad bends in the wire. I would probably scrap these. Again, they'll have a good silver content in the base metal of this, and a lot of the Victorian stuff also tends to have a thicker plating of gold. Another thing I like to work with is these vintage computer pieces that I got at the flea market. I got probably 10 to 20 pounds of these. This is just a little 1 pound bag for $60 at the flea market the one day. And basically all I do is, well, that one is not going to come out easy. I just pull these little pins out, and not that they weigh a lot, but after sitting and listening to the radio or watching TV, you end up with an ounce or two. And one thing I always like to check is you don't want your gold filled to be magnetic. It will end up, when you bring it to the smelter and it's all magnetic like material, you'll end up with way less than 0.15. You'll probably be at 0.005 or 6 with magnetic gold filled, and it really will show in your total. Plus, since the base metal and magnetic gold filled is steel, you don't tend to pick up silver. But it's kind of nice if you figure I try to get 50 to 100 pounds. So if I get 100 pounds of this, that means I'll get paid on 10 pounds of pure silver and 1 pound of pure gold. And to get 100 pounds of this small stuff and this will take me 2 years. Back when I used to scrap a little, or I used to do a lot more scrapping, I would do 15-pound lots, and the 15-pound lots would average about $3,000 to $4,000 when gold wasn't really high. It is kind of odd what gold's been doing recently. I think everybody's running around trying to get cash to cover their stock bets with the way the stock market's going. But I'm not 100% sure why gold and silver is not performing really well. But it's not like the scrappers are open to sell it right now. Everybody in my world has been safe from the virus. We have been at home since, I guess, last Friday, so basically have practiced self-isolation for the last 9 days. It seems like the only way to make it so the hospitals don't get full is to practice isolation or self-isolation from people. But it really stinks because we're going to come up into the spring. It's going to be the best flea market time, the best yard sale time, and we're gonna not be allowed to see any other people. It is going to be hard to find video ideas. I am excited though to make my my jewelry crafts. I kind of want to use some scrap and some natural materials. I think the first thing I'm going to try to make is some insects or spiders with some of the scrap wire and the driftwood we found. I don't know if anybody has any requests of some type of carving they want to see, but I mean, I am partial to turtles. With the garden, I'm going to start that this week, and we have I have so many nice flowers that I've ordered to put around the base to make a butterfly garden. So I'm definitely excited about that. I'm pretty sure the soil company is closed from the shutdown. They basically, everybody's still driving around, it sounds like, but the things that are still allowed to be open, the mechanic is allowed to be open, restaurants as long as they do delivery only, any little convenience store, grocery stores, Walmart, Home Depot is allowed to be open. So where you're going to see lots and lots of people are still open. So I don't know if they're going to actually slow down the spread, and they're just going to make it, it's like a slow train wreck that just every day keeps on adding and adding. It would be nice if everybody practiced the social distancing so we can, I don't know, get past the spot where the hospitals are not going to be as full. Hopefully you guys are in some other part of the country where it's not as badly affected yet. But it just seems like it spreads like a slow train wreck. What else have I been trying to get done? I tend to buy a lot of stuff at the markets, and the way I always have money for that is I set up online estate sales with all the clean outs. I mean, every day you see me with filling up the truck, and once a month I try to have this online estate sale either at the warehouse or at a house that I'm cleaning out, and that will end up paying or subsidizing all my shopping that I do. YouTube is definitely helps with being able to go to the market every day also, but you figure when I'm shopping at the market, I'm averaging probably $150 a day of what I spend. So it ends up being a big chunk of change at the end of the week. On an estate sale, online estate sale, the ones that I would do at the warehouse, I think I would average about $4,000 for a 1 month sale. So it definitely makes life way more easy. But those are all canceled for the foreseeable future. So is selling at the flea markets, though. You can see how fast these go along. Definitely have a nice little pile now. Trying to get to 1 ounce. Let me see. I need a little card to pour this onto. That way I can see what type of weight I have. I missed a few. Normally I do all this during the winter when I have time to sit there and take apart all these little pieces. So this is only got about $9 worth of gold filled. It's really seemed like it should have had more, because like if I take this big pin right here, that's $19 in scrap. So I mean, it is huge. The glasses would be probably $10 in scrap. So I've almost made a full pair of glasses out of taking the time to strip the watches and the computer pins. But I don't know, every little bit helps, especially since it all goes into a kitty. It's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like collecting pennies in a jar. It's banked money. Gabby and Darwin have been doing all their schoolwork. I got sent home to them on online. It's definitely not. It's like pulling teeth with my son and my daughter. She's all excited to get this together. Yeah, I was more like my son. I hated to do homework, so definitely impressed how good my daughter is with being excited to do her homework. I hope everybody's doing well out there. It looks like it's pretty scary over in Italy and Spain right now, and I don't think we're doing too much here in the Northeast not to be pretty close behind them. I think New York City, where I sell a lot of my like at the flea market when we sell, I get a lot of a lot of people from New York buying for their stores and Philadelphia buying for their stores, and I just hope I hope all the small businesses can make it through it. Definitely is a unique time in history. Well, I got my $10 worth of gold fill done, it looks like. I'm going to sit and work on the rest of this Got my it's made in occupied Japan frog hanging out. There's probably I would think on my shelves I had enough stuff to do really, really well this spring in Brimfield. I don't know when the next Brimfield's going to be. It would be nice if they were able to figure things out so we got there by the spring. I mean by the fall. But we'll definitely see. I think I'm gonna put that on my little shelf. Somebody carved this little squirrel. These were all the copper bars I did with the smelter. I did 7 so far. This one that looks like silver is actually bronze. I just added too much tin to it, so it gave it that bronze color. This one's bronze. I think if I can get here more, I'm going to try to do more of the melting and stuff. I do have a bunch of the little ingots done, so maybe I will maybe I'll use some of these, or I might even try selling these online. I'm amazed how high the pewter goes for on eBay. I like this mold. I like even more than the little biscuits because it fits into the crucible way easier. But 3 of these biscuits is about a pound, so, and I think about a pound of this pewter is $7 to $10 on eBay. So it really adds up fairly fast if you figure even at $8, 8, 16, 24, 32, you know, it just really is a lot of money. But thank you for everybody who's checked out the BlueBusDave eBay. I really appreciate it. We will get to making some jewelry and doing some jewelry repairs on weeks coming up, and I'm actually really excited to start working in the garden. Again, if you haven't yet, please give somebody a call. You know, nobody deserves to be alone in a time like this. And thank you guys for watching. Hopefully everybody's safe out there, and good luck. Peace. Almost forgot. Before I leave today, I had to go pull some of my watch crystals together, or watch faces together. I have probably 20 to 30,000 of these guys that I got from a warehouse clean out, and they do sell well for crafts. And I figured since so many people are crafting, it was the time to put all the different ones together. Let's see. What's nice is each one of these little plastic or the paper things has 2 watch faces on them. I think most of those are all the same. I had tons and tons and tons of these cases. I did bring these. What made me think of the watch faces is I did bring these to the smelter to try, to see what I would get. And since it's base metal, there's only like microns of gold on this watch case. And this was done in the late 90s. I averaged, it was $9 a pound. And I had over 1,000 pounds of these watch cases. Most of them are missing, or they were all missing the top to open them, so it made it really difficult. The company we cleaned out was Arnex. Arnex watches. There was just thousands and thousands of different types of crystals and stuff. Cases. Oh. Alright, I'm gonna go work on this. The Pachysandra actually has a really cool flower. Definitely is raining decent right now, but I just figured I'd show you the little flower on the Pachysandra. River's actually, or the little stream's high. I'm not looking for when that floods. It definitely has come up to the warehouse doors, but I built the little water break. They said after 6 inches of rain, it really has never went up past this level, so it will definitely be interesting once we get a big rain.